àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Okay, off your mind, it's okay. She off your mind, all of us in the sound like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call am hate speech. But fear not, Máyégún don come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people wey dey spoil our country. So my people make we laugh.
Hello there.
Don't come, oh, yo, yo.
Don't come.
Make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Máyégún don.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Máyégún live.
Oh, yo, yo. Máyégún don come, oh, yo, yo.
This one not dey off in mind.
Oh, yo, yo. Máyégún don come, oh, yo, yo.
I twisted it tonight.
Every corner.
Oh, yo, yo. Máyégún.
Kindly share this broadcast because tonight is the People's Parliament. For those of you who just recently joined us, the People's Parliament is when all of you watching me right now can also be part of this presentation, which means you can come on and share your own view. You can be Tinubu supporter, you can be articulated, Mugu or what have you. It doesn't really matter. You have a chance to tell us what we don't know, your view on the recent happenings in Nigeria. However, before we get to that stage, what I do first is to get you in the mood, get everybody into this whole thing fully, that you begin to feel like, no, I want to be part of this. Now, if you now decide that you want to be part of this, all you have to do, check the comments. You will see the links, okay? Use the link to join the studio. And you can be part of this too. But until then, right, you share the broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them, Máyégún today.
Ó lámọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Máyégún diary, Máyégún number one.
Máyégún làwa mọ̀, lámọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Máyégún diary, Máyégún number one.
Máyégún ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Máyégún diary, Máyégún number one.
I'm
Lórí
going
Facebook,
to
lórí
get back to all of us in about 2 minutes. But just
gbogbo bó
so you
ṣe
know, the drama, the war in Niger Republic is already underway. What you haven't heard is the boos. I have a clip of the preparation, getting ready. Now you go to ask later, is it about Niger? And also Littlefinger, is about to eat back. I also have that tonight, among others. Don't go anywhere. But the one that is currently trending, I mean, before that of El-Rufai, is this speech that declared war on Niger Republic. Don't go anywhere yet. We're about to start.
Extraordinary Summit of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government on the political situation in Niger, 10th August 2023, final communique. The Authority of Heads of State and Government of the Economic Community of West African States convened in an extraordinary session in Abuja, Nigeria on 10th August 2023 under the chairmanship of His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chair of the ECOWAS Authority. The extraordinary summit was convened as a sequel to the recent one held on 30 July 2023, following the illegal detention of President Mohamed Bazoum by the members of the Presidential Guard in the Republic of Niger on 26 July 2023. Present at the summit were the following heads of state and duly mandated representatives: His Excellency Patrice Talon, President of the Republic of Benin; His Excellency Alassane Ouattara, President of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire; His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana; His Excellency Umaru Sissoko Mbalo, President of the Republic of Guinea-Bissau; His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Republic of Nigeria; His Excellency Macky Sall, President of the Republic of Senegal; His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone; His Excellency Faure Gnassingbé, President of the Togolese Republic; His Excellency Mamadou Tangara, Minister of Foreign Affairs, representing His Excellency the President of the Gambia; His Excellency Ambassador D. Maxwell Sarr Kemaya, Minister of Foreign Affairs, representing His Excellency the Head of State, the President of Liberia; His Excellency Belarmino Silva, Ambassador of Cape Verde, representing His Excellency the President of Cabo Verde. The summit was also attended by Evariste Gnassingbé, President of the Republic of Burundi; His Excellency Mohamed Ould Ghazouani, President of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania; Omar Aliou Touré, President of the Commission; His Excellency Leonardo Santos Simao, Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General for West Africa and the Sahel and Head of UNOWAS; His Excellency Ambassador Bankole Adeoye, Commissioner for Peace and Security, representing the chairperson of the African Union Commission. The authority, having considered the memorandum presented by the President of the ECOWAS Commission on the current situation in the Republic of Niger, as well as ECOWAS engagement since the last extraordinary summit, and having considered the reports of the envoys of the chair to Niger and various other places, carefully considered the report and recommendations of the ECOWAS Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff, extensively discussed the latest development in Niger since the last extraordinary summit held on 30 July 2023, noted that all diplomatic efforts made by ECOWAS in resolving the crisis have been defiantly repelled by the military leadership of the Republic of Niger, taking note of the expiration of the one-week ultimatum given for the restoration of constitutional order in the Republic of Niger, decide as follows. A, reiterates its strong condemnation of the attempted coup d'etat and the continued illegal detention of President Mohamed Bazoum, his family, and members of his government. B, further condemns the condition in which President Bazoum is being detained and hold the CNSP fully and solely responsible for the safety, security, and physical integrity of President Bazoum, members of his family, and government. C, uphold all measures and principles agreed upon by the extraordinary summit held on Niger on 30th July 2023. Underscore the determination of the ECOWAS authority to keep all options on the table for the peaceful resolution of the crisis. Enforce all measures, in particular border closures and strict travel bans and assets freeze, on all persons or groups of individuals whose actions hinder all peaceful efforts aimed at ensuring the smooth and complete restoration of constitutional order. Warn member states who, by their action directly or indirectly, hindered the peaceful resolution of the crisis in Niger, about the consequences for their action before the community. Call on the African Union to endorse all the decisions taken by the ECOWAS authority on the situation in Niger. Further call on all partner countries and institutions, including the United Nations, to support ECOWAS in its effort to ensure a quick restoration of constitutional order in conformity with its normative instruments. Direct the President of the Commission to monitor the implementation of the sanctions. Direct the Committee of the Chief of Defense Staff to activate the ECOWAS standby force with all its elements immediately. Order the deployment of the ECOWAS standby force to restore constitutional order in the Republic of Niger. Underscore its continued commitment to the restoration of constitutional order through peaceful means. Express appreciation to His Excellency General Abdulsalami Abubakar, His Eminence Muhammadu Saad Abubakar, the Sultan of Sokoto, Ambassador Baba Kingibe, for the special envoy missions undertaken in Niger, Libya, and Algeria on behalf of the Chair of Authority. Express gratitude to His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Chair of the ECOWAS Authority, for convening the extraordinary.
Thank you, far too kind. If you have now joined us, you are welcome to the People's Parliament on Mayegun's Diary Political. But let me kind of wet the ground for you before you begin to open that link. Remember, to be part of this conversation tonight, it's not by phone calls. You would have to use that link in the comment section there. You open that, it's going to take you straight into this studio. And you can come and share your view too, as important as they are to you. But let's start with this. There is already ongoing war preparation in Niger. I think I can show you this video quickly.
Yara assalamu alaikum. Manya durun waku. Ni da nau'i kasawa. Ni ku tambari a bani mai da keni. Ni ji kuma laliyar mutanen fada. Ni kura jiya kaura baban shawo. Akai a kawo sai gafiya. Ni shan kiyo sai tunku. Dogon zango sai cimola. A daba anuka sai kalwa. Amma dankali sai juji. Ina mai jirbe gidan mutanen custom. Babban gandu sai gayya. Kan daki sai an taru. Yaro ba ya daukan yaro. Wallahi sai da rungume ni rungume.
You may not understand the language per se, but when you look at the optics, you will know. So those are the Nigerian ECOWAS soldiers getting ready, moving from Sokoto straight to Niger Republic any moment from now. And according to one of the ECOWAS head of state, Ouattara, the one from Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire, said, people are trying to make this look like it's Nigeria versus Niger. No, it's not Nigeria versus Niger. It is ECOWAS versus Niger, according to him.
To leave now, but there's a position most head of states who have intervened have endorsed. So I want to insist, this is not a Nigerian affair. It's an affair of ECOWAS. And you know, Niger is part of the Monetary Union of West Africa, which I have a chair. And this concerns Cote d'Ivoire on that account. So ECOWAS is even bigger. ECOWAS is nearly 400 million people, 240 million in Nigeria, 140 million in the West African Monetary Union. So this is 400 million people. If we don't have democracy, do you think that our countries will be able to move ahead? This coup d'etat is not acceptable. We should put an end to it. And I hope it will be unanimously that we will put this to an end. Thank you.
It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian. It is smoke Igbo.
Hang on, oh, this audio delay, I'm so sorry, right? If that keeps happening, all right? But somehow, I think I actually know why that is, which is probably just the laptop, you know, the device streaming it. Anyway, they said it is not Nigeria versus Niger. It is ECOWAS versus Niger. Now that is kind of brewing already. So, and you start hearing the boom, 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 boom any moment from now. Like I said yesterday, except some powerful country just wield their stick and say, yeah, let's prevent all of this and pursue peace. Because the junta in Niger, they themselves have seen the preparation. And a lot of you will be wondering, Shana, for Niger Republic be all of this? Anyway, those one have also said, if a single soldier from this ECOWAS step their foot on Niger soil, they will execute the president they are coming to rescue, the president they want to put back in power. Now, they have made that threat open. They said they will execute him, execute his family, and then wherever this whole thing leads to, everybody will have to wait for the end go. And it's like threat from ECOWAS, threat from Niger. Now, AU, African Union, said, fine, they approved the military action in Niger Republic to remove the junta. So which means all the light seems to be getting greener and greener and greener for them. And the invasion of Niger Republic is due and mostly inevitable. So maybe they are just going to wait for United Nations too, because they call them. So today, ECOWAS now sent another message. And this message is to Russia. They said any human rights violation by the Wagner group on this issue of Niger, that Russia will be responsible. And I think you have the idea, because what happened now is that the whole game is going to end up as Russia versus the West, as usual. Sure, you know, it will come back to that, even though it's always been that, right? But it's going to come back to that, where it's going to be like, oh, the killings in Niger, the destruction going on, they were not done by ECOWAS. They are not done by French. They are not done by all these guys, but they are done by Russia. So you should get yourselves ready for that propaganda too. Anyway, ECOWAS just sent that warning that any human rights violation in Niger Republic, Russia will be held responsible for it. It's already brewing. Just prepare your mind, and probably I'll hear your own view on that too at some point. Yeah, it is inevitable, except maybe if America just say, hey, hold up. So a lot of Northerners are kind of pissed because somehow to them, and this is quite strange, okay, a section of northern Nigeria, especially the APC, Egbekegbe supporters, majority of them feels like it is the right thing to do, that they should remove the junta and put back the democracy, something like that. And including, like, they shall support the invasion. But other part of northern Nigeria, northerners are like, when they are now comparing, considering the risk, what do you call it, the disadvantage of what the whole thing is going to lead to when it becomes full-blown war. Those ones are now feeling like, no, that fall. We did not, excuse me. So I think, I'm sorry, kind of messing up with my connection, okay? Sorry about that. It keeps popping back. I'll find means. I don't know why. And I think it might actually be the network, yeah? I'm so sorry. And it's going to get busier now, by the way. By the time we start getting everybody on, it's going to get busier. So a part of the North are kind of publicly saying, go for it. Somebody like El-Rufai's son, the Kaduna Little Finger, or the Little Vile Man. They have so many names for him, right? Kaduna Little Finger's son believes that with all of the resources at Nigeria's disposal, Niger Republic will crash or will crumble in 11 hours. That the highest, that they will go there and come back, like the old journey, to and fro, 11 hours. This whole thing will be over. That's El-Rufai's son. And all of the human, casualties and the rest of that people are kind of, collateral damage as B, is that what they call it? Economic ruin and the losses and all that, lives, refugees, and all those things that are related to when this kind of gets out of hand. They don't care. They've committed massacre, genocide in southern Kaduna to the point that they brag about it openly. His father, El-Rufai, the son. I mean, is it not shocking that somehow the reason why they rejected El-Rufai from being confirmed as minister, they said, look at all these offenses. So they said that El-Rufai, the reason why he can't be a minister are unguided statements. Okay, this guy supervised the never seen before genocide in a single state perpetrated by the people in power. All right, and he came out to say, well, they are only trying to politicize the killings, and in fact, it's because some people are making money from reporting the killings. That is why the killings have not stopped. He is also the guy who went all over Africa or West Africa, asking the Fulanis to come back to Nigeria. If they lost anything when they were chased out of Nigeria, that they should come back. Government will pay them. This guy paid money to terrorists that later terrorizing the southern Kaduna, and to make them feel like he's so powerful. At a point, he came out and he said, the Muslims will rule the states for another 50 years, and there is nothing the Christians can do about it. It's like official. He decided to take his on his second term. He picked up a Muslim ticket. So Muslim ticket. He tested it in Kaduna, rigged it, did all he could, and he got back in. And when he came back in, he sold the idea of Muslim to Tinubu. Unfortunately, those unguided statements are now being used by APC. He said horrible things about Tinubu as well. Sure, you get. Until now, that he now changed them at the last minute. Human rights abuses. This guy picked up is the first set of criminal governors in Nigeria that are picking people up because of what they said about him on social media. Do you get that? So if you write anything about El-Rufai, you can go missing. That Diatta, one young man who lives in Kaduna, Kwakwanso supporter, the guy went missing for the past 4 or 5 years now or so. No traces, no nothing. How did that happen? Some men approached him when he was actually entering his own house. At the gate of his own compound, they stopped him and they pretended to be DSS. That was the last. You know, the old scenario of him being arrested prompted his family members to come out, his wife, his little kids. They came out and he was like, he's been arrested by DSS. That was the last they saw of him. And it was because of what he's been, how he's been criticizing El-Rufai. At a point, one of El-Rufai's sons actually bragged on the same Twitter, on social media, that those who are like, I actually made similar threats against people who were criticizing or saying things about his father. On Twitter, he said, a lot of you should go and ask that Yatta what happened. Continue to what? To blow your mouth. And that was when people were like, where is government in this place, right? Those who didn't go missing, they languished in different cells, prisons across Nigeria because of this guy, right? To the point that, I mean, I don't know how terrified the people of Kaduna are of him and the El-Rufai's family, right? This same guy orchestrated the killing of one paramount ruler of Adara Kingdom in that same southern Kaduna. This same El-Rufai, areas where Fulani terrorists have killed, ransacked, and chased people away. Those people are living in refugee camps across the northern part of, or north central part of Nigeria, by the way. The same El-Rufai has been renaming some of these villages and appointing emir for them. All of this being gazetted by Kaduna state government, this same jihadist terrorist. So people are not just calling him a terrorist. He is somebody. And while he's doing all of this, El-Rufai is a great philanthropist, number one propagandist. El-Rufai is one of those who are sponsoring, funding some of these big institutions across the world, like in America, here in the UK. You go here, Oxford University, El-Rufai fellow, Oxford University. When you go and check it, you see how much of Kaduna or Nigeria's money is ferried to give to Oxford University. They will say, El-Rufai, Oxford University, El-Rufai, Cambridge University, speech on democratic norm, safety, security, and democracy, human rights and democracy, and kiniko. So he uses this, right, to make it look like, you are not talking about, he is the devil in the real human skin. Like, no joke. This is not even like somebody trying to spoil somebody. El-Rufai is the real devil. That people were so scared that if this one get closer to power, you go here when. And that's exactly what he said in a video that is now trending. There is a video of El-Rufai just today, where he said he never wanted to be minister. I never wanted to be minister. Tinubu begged me 10 times to come and be minister. But he knows that Tinubu still hold grudges against him. You know all these things they said about him, right? When they said, are you going to be the vice presidential candidate to Tinubu? He said, I will never be a running mate to a drug baron. That's what he said. He went to Lagos and he said, during the Ambode time, he said, I can teach them how to defeat godfathers. Come to Kaduna, I defeated all godfathers. I chased them away. I am the godfather now. So if Lagos want to get out of the bondage of godfatherism, they should come, I'll teach them. So the sudden change at the last minute of even supporting Tinubu came as a rude shock to so many, because they knew it was one of those who were determined that this Tinubu shouldn't get power. I mean, shouldn't taste power. So now El-Rufai is now saying that he was never interested in being a minister, which kind of true. But the mad guy went for screening, and he said because Tinubu owed grudge against him, that is why they didn't clear him. So he's no longer interested in being a minister. The best he can do is to give Tinubu somebody to be his minister. He's no longer interested in that. And some people are already saying, very good. So by the time they are going to make up their mind on Tinubu, by the time this same El-Rufai is going to use what he knows how to do best, knock and jam their ears here and there together. And the same Tinubu is already like, it could be like saying that the worry Tinubu right now, is already launched, or is already declared war on northern Nigeria. Now they are working on something they can, like, what do you call that one though? Just like trying to save the face, make it look like, well, he didn't do it, but it has to be done. So these guys, this El-Rufai and gang, he has already seen it. There were people who were saying that Tinubu appointing El-Rufai was just out of fulfilling all righteousness. That the point is either never to get him cleared. And if he was cleared, if he's ever cleared, to just put him somewhere that it's just like putting him somewhere that when they put somewhere to fail, it will be obvious that it's either you are going to resign and say, I'm not interested again, or you're just going to be there and you're going to be the poster boy of a loud mouth or a complete empty barrel, like kind of thing, right? And I think El-Rufai knew about this, or he got to know about them late. So they say he's no longer interested. So they're like, okay, we'll see how that goes, right? So I want your views on that. But before I share that, right, let me take you back to the reactions of some of them in northern Nigeria, or reactions, to Tinubu's declared war, just before we open the studio for the parliamentarians.
But the basic issue is one has to be extremely careful with these sit-tight leaders. Because obviously the coup is not only the idea of military taking over government. A coup is actually where people extend their limit beyond what constitutionally is being provided for. That one is also a coup. When you rig yourself into an election, it's also a coup. So basically the problem with these leaders is I am right, everybody else is wrong. Because one has to look seriously into the kind of thing that this guy is here. And my fears are that we shouldn't allow these people to take us into another proxy war. Proxy war in the sense is that in Niger, the Wagner, the missionary groups of Russia are already there. And these people who are from the East is because Niger, Mali, and others are saying they are tired with the domination of French in the running affairs of their own country, so they want to be really independent. They have been telling us that you are more independent than us because our own independence is only a name. Our currency is being printed somewhere, and then the central bank of another country is the one that takes care of our own money. You go back, you take loan from your own money, and you pay interest. There are so many things that are going on wrong. And I can't see people like Ouattara have the moral right to start telling people that this issue is not Nigeria and Niger. As far back as the 18th century when the Sultanate was established, there has been a very good cordial relationship between the two countries. And a number of Nigerian leaders happens to belong to the two countries. Nigeria recognized in dual citizenship. There are a number of Nigerian leaders that are partly here and partly there. So I can't see anybody who is telling us that if there is going to be a war, even if we are not around neighbors, with Niger, one will say it is not a war between us. It is actually a war between us because there are a number of Nigerians that are going to be affected as a result of that war. So I can see a contradiction in the release itself because I believe the leadership, who happens to be our own leader, seems to be focusing more on diplomacy based on the missionaries that he has sent around. The former president was there together with the Sultan of Sokoto. Nobody seemed to know what has actually happened. And you see, you cannot really negotiate with the threat. The first thing that's made it very difficult for people to start thinking about this negotiation was the fact that you took a decision, cut off light, block the close the borders and what have you. If you are negotiating, you cannot negotiate with somebody on the basis of a threat. You should first negotiate. It is only when the negotiation fails that you think about what happened again. So I believe basically there is a lot of contradiction in the release itself. Two, I'm sure we should not allow this country to go into a proxy war between the West and Russia, because at the end of the day, if you look at what is happening in Ukraine, if you look at what is happening in Sudan, and in quite a lot of places you see around Libya that has virtually finished, you can see basically is this idea of pushing people to do certain biddings. And they use some of these sit-tight leaders to sell their own ideas around. And if you look at the background of Ouattara and what you see, virtually you find out that even when he was talking, you cannot exactly, he was not trying to report to people that this is what has happened. It was the decision or the ideas of a varying government that has been sold to the Economic Community of West Africa.
Kind of, right? Say, sorry, bro. The ship has already sailed. Okay? I don't think any opinion really matters anymore. Abi, remember that video I shared with you earlier? Because this is the state of things right now. The ship has sailed.
Yara, assalamu alaikum. Manya turun waku. Ni da nau'i kasawa. Ni ku tambari a bani mana da keni. Ni ji kuma laliyar mutanen fada. Ni kura ajiya kaura baban shawo. Akai a kawo sai gafiya. Ni shan kiyo sai tunku. Dogon zango sai cimola. A daba anuka sai kalwa. Amma dankali sai juji. Ina mai jirbe gidan mutanen custom. Babban gandu sai gayya. Kan daki sai an taru. Yaro baya daukan yaro. Wallahi sai da rungume ni rungume.
I hear something like it's something like you will say in Yoruba that Afa Jono, you they ask for is Irungbon. Irungbon is your beard. Let's say Afa born. And you're asking that what about his beard? That's exactly I kind of hear that. Oh, by the time this whole thing, this whole fire finish, Aba that means now when you see Afa, you go see him beard too. But as we know, now at the beginning, now they see. And I was actually seeing like, is it just me? Hang on. The video said Nigeria getting ready. ECOWAS getting ready. But is it just me that saw something like just Niger flags on those troop carriers or those trucks? Is it just me, or that's the combination of all the ECOWAS and all of them like having those flags? I'll show you again, just quickly. I just observed that.
Yara, assalamu alaikum. Manya turun waku. Ni da nau'i kasawa. Ni ku tambari a bani mana da keni. Ni ji kuma laliyar mutanen fada. Ni kura ajiya kaura baban shawo. Akai a kawo sai gafiya. Ni shan kiyo sai tunku. Dogon zango sai cimola. A daba anuka sai kalwa. Amma dankali sai juji. Ina mai jirbe gidan mutanen custom. Babban gandu sai gayya. Kan daki sai an taru.
Is it just me? Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I will leave that to some of you to come up with your own views. And as for El-Rufai, before now, he actually did say he would rather not be a minister. But why did he accept it to then go for screening, got disgraced, then realizes that he never wanted to be minister? The little vile man. Prime, what do you call it? Premium Times media.
So this is your last term, obviously. What's next for you? Are you coming in as a minister or something?
I was minister 20 years ago. I was privileged to be the minister of FCT 20 years ago and Director General of BPE 4 years earlier than that. And I'm 63. I'll be 63 a week from today. And quite frankly, I think that Nigeria has such a pool of talented young people that can do whatever job that may be offered to me. And I have a pool of these young people, many that I have worked with, many that I have mentored over the years. And I have told Asiwaju several times there is hardly any assignment that you will offer me that I cannot get you a better, younger person. Of course, he doesn't agree with that. It's an ongoing discussion. But it's a moot point because the election is not yet won. My preference, by the grace of God, is 107 or 8 days from now, we hand over and I take a break, complete my PhD. I've been pursuing a PhD in governance and public policy at the University of Maastricht in the Netherlands. In fact, I'm supposed to be in the university now. This is the research week, but I couldn't make it because of the situation of the country. I got security advisory that I have to be in Kaduna in case of protests and so on. So I had to write the university to cancel. So I hope I will spend the next one.
It would never. People like this would never get you to prove me wrong on anything. You know what they do? When they give money to all these universities abroad, then the next university will now call them and say, we are offering you professorship. We are offering you PhD. We are offering you masters in, and it's almost always public relation, political democracy, democracy, nonsense, all these things. So all of them, they are just to buy the international impression that, oh, look at this fine gentleman from Nigeria. I heard that he's a former governor. So they put them on an alumni. So they give all these schools money. Not school fees, so money. You go, if you know how much Kaduna State under this criminal gave to Oxford University in the UK here. University that is making billions of pounds sterling on their own. They still collect from people like El-Rufai, and they call them alumni and all that. So yeah, because of the situation in the country, so I'm advised to stay. If not, I should have been in Netherlands doing my PhD. All of the nonsense, wherever they say they are doing, how did that even better the life of the Nigerians they are modeling up? Because in this Hausa, Goma.
Ni bana neman aikin gwamnati. Bana son aiki da shi. Shi yake cewa yana so aiki da ni dole ni nake cewa bana son abin nan. Wallahi tallahi billahi na fi karfin wani a cewa shine ubangidana.
Allah. You know what he's saying there? That's El-Rufai. El-Rufai speaking to DW said, and quote, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the one pestering me to work with him for more than 10 times. But wallahi talahi, I am above being God's son to anyone. Somebody asked that, you are considered as Tinubu's God's son, as your godfather, do you think it's going to do something about this, your Senate rejecting you? And El-Rufai said, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the one pestering me to work for him. For more than 10 times, that he's been pestering him for more than 10 times. So wallahi talahi, I am nobody's godson. You know what I mean, Abi? That's the same El-Rufai. It's the mean they go in Netherlands. He has submitted another name to be minister, by the way, to Kolu. So they will forward that one to Akpabiole when they get back. However, talking about what Kolu, I was somewhere and somebody was like, about this country, everything don't add, everything don't off. Petrol, fuel, okay, fuel is has tripled, Baba. Food prices, they have, tripled, quadrupled. House rent has doubled. School fees for children, children are going to resume school next month now, September. A lot of people are going to develop serious health issues, hypertension, sleepless night, loss of appetite, loss of weight, loss of this and that, all because the school themselves are also going to increase the school fees of your children. And the moment they do that, you would have to cough that out. There is somebody, Olu Sholaru, African Wahala. Let me use spanner for that person. It is called spamming. When somebody start typing nonsense, right? And they are posting them like one after the other. It's called spamming. Get them out of that place. Yeah, thank you very much. Good job. Okay. However, we believe that the old shaggy thing, they are just kind of gaining momentum. You should build on your resistance, what do you call it, mechanism, because Oshi might get worse. Not because I wish it on you. Once they start their gas boozing in jail now, that is also going to affect your food, supply and all that, Abi. And farmers are not going back to farms because of insecurity. 21 people killed in Plateau State in the last 2 days. 4 people killed in Benue State just yesterday. People had to hit the streets. That's almost